Hello. Are we good? We're having technical difficulties. We've never done one of these live campfire rants in the past. I have no idea what we're doing here.
You guys here?
Yeah, we hear you. It's just fuzzy right now.
So are we live? Are we going?
Live.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Shane here with RVs of America, or ROA Off-Road. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties. We're trying to get this rolling. It's a new year. Happy New Year, 2024. What is on the horizon? What should we look for? What's exciting? Besides my diet, because the holidays were not good to me. That's exciting, and that's on its way. I love this time of year because everybody is energized about new, refreshing, cool things, rebooting their life. And there you go. I got throwing in some fun stuff there that I'm going to hopefully tell you about in a bit. Super excited. There are a lot of things here at ROA Off-Road that are in the pipeline. I'm super pumped, and I want to I gotta kind of leave it open, let everybody jump in and say, ask anything you want to know about any of our manufacturers. There's some really cool stuff in the pipeline, and I think I can be pretty candid about it because I think they all want people to know that there's some cool stuff in the works. Imperial's got some cool stuff in the works. Paz has some unbelievable stuff in the works I'm really excited about. We have a new manufacturer that we have officially signed up with. We haven't, I guess this is the official announcement. I'm super excited about this manufacturer. Spent a lot of time really deciding on whether we should carry them or not, and we just kind of really went through. I kind of feel like we put them through the what is it called? The ringer. Yeah, through the ringer, and I feel kind of bad because the sales representative, we like drilled him with 1,000 questions when he came in the first time, and we just had really bad experience with previous trailers imports, right? And so we just really wanted to make sure we ironed everything out and felt really comfortable. I have now spent time with the actual owner of MDC, and he is truly an entrepreneur, a visionary, but also a very he's a user. He uses his trailers, which makes me really happy and excited. He's going to be coming out to Utah, and we're going to be doing some off-roading in some trailers, and I'm really excited about that. The trailers are really good quality too, and I know this is because we've carried a lot of trailers. We've carried a lot of imports and trailers from Australia. We've carried trailers from the U.S. We've carried trailers from China, and so we kind of have an idea, a lay of the land with like Black Series. We've had those trailers, and we had a lot of issues with them. One of them caught on fire in our shop, and it's just scary quality issues, and we didn't so whenever we're going out to a new manufacturer, we always want to be like, does this manufacturer care about quality? Do they care about more than quality, the end users, safety? Those things are pretty scary, right? So we are now officially carrying MDC, and they are an awesome manufacturer. I'm really, really excited about them, and I don't even feel like I can compare them with anybody, and I don't think it would be justice to compare them. They have very unique floor plans. They're beautiful floor plans, and they have like a dozen floor plans, which I'm really excited about. And we have like family models with bunk beds. There's couples models with east-west beds, north-south beds. There's pop tops. They're light. We're going to be getting our first shipment here hopefully tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, so stay tuned. We'll be taking those out. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is that they have been in business for 19 years, and they've really been dialing in their offering and their product and their quality, and that was something that I met with one of their head engineers who's in charge of all production, and he is at the factory constantly, and then he has teams of engineers always going to the factory to oversee all the production and quality, and this guy is like, I guess from what I was told from the owner, this guy is like in the industry in Australia. He is like the very top, like known for one of the best quality, production guys in all of Australia. So these guys are very, very capable. And anyways, more and more stuff is going to come out. I don't even know. I just got downloaded with information. And now we have, do we have comments coming in? Questions coming in?
Yep.
Okay, let's pull up some of these comments. Randy here. Who's Randy? Camping Randy? Never heard of that guy. Just kidding, Camping Randy. I was going to start this rant with saying, hey everyone, how are you doing? Shane with ROA Off-Road or RVsofamerica.com. And I decided not to do that. But hey, welcome Randy. How you doing? Starting a new line of RVs called Regular Guy RVs. Look at that. Baker Family Overland. So starting a new line of RVs called Regular Guys RVs. Where is this and what is this? I have no idea what you're talking about. Is this a new manufacturer in the United States that you've created, or is there a new one? Or we're not carrying them. So anyways, next question. I don't know about, you can add stuff into that. Where you went too far. Go back one.
No, that was
okay. So Florida X22 owner here. Hi y'all. Hey, welcome. Roadless Traveler. I like that. That's a great name. I think mine was the second trailer sold after ROA South Carolina opened in 2022. I can't believe that it's 2024 and we opened in 2022. It's crazy how fast time can fly, going on 2 years. I cannot believe there's been so many cool things, you guys. Like 2023 was just quite a year. Honestly, it was a big year for us. And we had it was a hard year, not for us necessarily. It was hard for everybody, but the entire industry. There were a lot of manufacturers that went out of business, unfortunately. Some of the manufacturers that we carried, I think Vorshear closed their doors. They're a small teardrop manufacturer, and there are a few others that have been really struggling, and it's unfortunate. It's really sad to see some of these people go, but some of the manufacturers that have kind of been weathering through this, weathered through 2023, I think they're coming out on top, and they're coming out stronger than ever. And I'm really excited about the new products that are coming in through the pipeline. Like I said, MDC, amazing. I'm really excited about that. They have a huge product offering. And they're trying to open up a great dealer network. Let's go to the next question, you guys. Awesome. Roadless. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So, I think one of the things that I'm more excited about, I don't know, I want to say I'm more excited. Oh, look at this. A pause teardrop, square drop for 2024. Okay. Seymour Butts. Welcome. I always love it when Seymour Butts joins in. Especially when he butts into the conversation. Usually they're good comments. Let's pull up that sign. Come on, there we go. We got Made in America. You guys want to see something pretty cool? This is the reason why. Wait, hold on 1 second. I texted Maynard before this went live. Hopefully he'll say yes. Yes, he said yes. Yes. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so this is really exciting stuff. I think this is one of the things that I'm most excited for. Made in America. That badge is going to start going on the frames of all the pauses coming out, and this is, should we just show it for 1 second? Just pull it up and let it go. Okay, not too long. Ooh, okay, go. Okay, there you go. Don't want to go too much into that. It just wanted to tease you on that. These are, okay, one of the things that people have been complaining about here at ROA and some of the products that we carry is we have 2 categories. One is trailers. For, we have some trailers as low as $10,000 up to $50,000. And then we have some trailers that are around $110,000 all the way up to $150,000. And everybody's like, like a lot of the 50 lower, $10,000 to $50,000 are small. They're not ideal for a couple. Some of them work for big families. The taxes are great for big families, but some of them are just like, you're limited. Now, I know MDC is going to open up a huge assortment of floor plans, in that, 30 all the way up to the $60,000, $70,000 range. But as far as like a primo, like these $100,000+ trailers, those generally like are those floor plans with a queen size walk around bed, you know, a nice area to either lounge or eat, like a booth area, a nice full shower, you know, just a nice trailer. We have a huge gap between that $50,000 to $100,000 range, and a lot of people have been saying, man, why don't you guys get something under $100,000, you know, made in America, built by Paws standards, Paws quality, but not $100,000+. So do we want to show that one more time? I guess people could have just gone back and paused it later on, but anyway, so we got, no, you can go back, pull it back up for a second. No, that the inside's not done, so we're not going to show the inside. These are coming across the assembly, the factory floor right now. These were right before Christmas. These were coming out. As you can see, 2 colors. I love it. I'm a darker color. I like that. What color is that? Brownish, greenish. What, tan? Probably tan, right? Sorry, I'm colorblind. Fun fact. The tan looks cool. The white looks pristine. I've already had people go, whoa, those look nice. Tandem axle, aluminum frames, more ride independent suspension. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. And they're going with the theme Paws. These are the reboot. These things are amazing. These trailers I have been talking to Maynard with. Go to the next one. Let's get out of these. I don't want to distract people from hearing what I'm saying. These trailers, Maynard and I have, and bring up comments whenever they are coming up. Maynard and I have been talking with Maynard since day one, right, about the pauses, right? And the, so I've been talking with him saying, hey, this is what we can do, this is what we can design. These trailers, I was like saying, we need, like, the 20.3, the 21.4, the 16.4. These are like really the most premium trailers on the market right now. Like, they're just super, with Garmins and Victrons and Battleborns and like everything on the trailer, from the ground, from the aluminum frames all the way to the roof, is like the walls, the paneling. So these new trailers are coming out. They're not going to be using half of the components that you see in the 20.3 or the 21.4, because these are like the best way to explain these, the pauses, you're talking like Porsche, you know, or the Mercedes-Benz of their lineup. That's the Pause 20.3, 21.4. They're very premium, and everything in it is premium. These ones are going to be still, I want to call them a Mercedes, but I don't know my Mercedes. I should have done like BMWs. I know BMWs better. So the 20.3s are going to be kind of like those X7s, fancy SUVs, or the 750 series of a BMW, if you know what those are. Those things are like, you can spend $150,000 to $200,000 on one of those BMWs, an M series, right? Very expensive, very premium. But then you can pick up a BMW, a 3 or a 5 series, for 40, 50, 60 grand, and it's still a BMW. It's very luxurious, very beautiful. Same thing with Lexus, right? You have your L460s, I think, is their premium, you know, and that car is going to cost you 100 to 150 grand. But then you have an ES 300. It's still a Lexus. It's still beautiful. It's still luxurious. Still drives great. But it's like 30 or 40 grand, you know. I used to have an ES. I think it was a 300. It was a used one. It was like a $4,000 car I got at an auction when I was younger years. But great cars, right? From the base all the way to the premium. And so that's what Pause is offering into the market. They are bringing in a trailer that's going to be under that $100,000 price point. It is not, by no means, it's not going to be a 20.3 or a 21.4. Those things still are going to be like, those things are tricked out like beyond your wildest dreams. So I have one comment here. My wife and I are settled on the Pause 20.3. The customizability on this unit fits our needs well. Are there any exciting new tidbits you can share with us? I mean, the thing about it, you're right, with the 20.3, we are able to customize that one super, super well. Obviously, the reboots are going to be coming. We're probably not going to have a lot of custom stuff on those for a while because they're new and it takes a while, right? They're going to come out and it's going to be pretty standard for, and they're not going to be here today or next week or next month. But I suspect after this video, we're probably going to have a dozen phone calls in the next week, and we're probably going to start putting in some, at least some orders. Some people wanted to put a placeholder on it. So I'm super excited about that. The 20.3, this is the hard thing with the pauses when you get into the 20.3 and the 21.4. They literally have the top of the line everything. The toilets are something that you can definitely customize, right? What else would we customize on a pause? Because it's just so hard, because in the past, like, we're known for doing a lot of customizations on trailers, but the reason is because when we used to carry the Black Series, they would come in and they had like batteries that cost $80. I mean, $80 from Costco. They would come from China. They were probably like $30 batteries, right? They were trash. They weren't trash, right? Generally, I tell people, use it until they die. They'll die in a year, and then come back here and upgrade them to lithium, right? And so we did a lot of customizations. Like, the fans were like these cheap little cheesy, they look like computer fans in the toilet area, right? In the shower area. They didn't move the air. The air conditioner units were rubbish, right? Like, they were loud. They would overwork themselves, and they would freeze and stop working, right? The fusing was bad. Like, we would tell people the electrical's a mess. Like, there was one of the inverters, the original inverter on the Black Series was an Ames. The Co Super was the secondary one that they replaced it during COVID, and that had like a 80 to 90% failure rate within the first 30 days. So people were like within the first 30 days, your inverter is going to explode and stop working. Do you want us to, we just want you to know that. So in 30 days from now, you're going to call up and be upset. It's because you can't charge your batteries. You can't run anything off grid. You're going to be really mad. But we're just letting you know right up front that this is like failing like constantly because it's cheap. And it's the cheapest thing you can buy on the market, unfortunately. And so people would be like, I'll just take it. And then 30 days later, it broke. And it was like, please don't be mad at me. I told you. So usually, generally, with the customizing of these things, I was always like, yeah, like, if you want to go through the hassle of bringing it back and getting another one that's going to fail, let's upgrade it to Victron. Well, what's in the Pause 20.3? Does anybody know what the Pause 20.3 is using for its electrical components? Victron, right? And then people would be like, well, what should I do with the batteries? Well, you should do Battleborns. Well, what's in the Pause? Battleborns, right? Like, so, like, it's really hard. Like, what do you upgrade? I don't know. I mean, like, toilets are definitely a thing, and I don't. Toilets to me are not like, there's not a best toilet in the world, right? The hard thing is people are always like, what's the best toilet? I'm like, well, it just depends on you and your preferences. Some people really like composting toilets. I'm not a huge fan of composting toilets. Incinerators are awesome, right? But they're expensive, right? So if you can afford that, if it's in the budget, then it's pretty cool. You never have to drain a black tank. But I have people come in all the time and they're like, can you change my like cassette or my dry flush toilet back to a black tank? I'm like, well, there's no back to a black tank. This is in the Imperials, because I'm like, there is no black tank, right? We would have to install a black tank because it doesn't come from the factory that way. And so with Pause, I always like, the cool thing with Maynard and Pause, they've been so quick to respond and listen to the market, and especially us here at ROA. And for that, we're like, I'm eternally grateful, because, when they first came out of the market, he was using Renogy's, and I was like, well, why did you use Renogy? And he had a good deal with them, and I was like, but Victrons are the best. And he's like, okay, let's switch to Victron. And that's been really cool. So with the toilet stuff, I've been like, I don't think you should switch, because some people want a black tank. But it's really easy to get rid of the toilet and the black tank and put in an incinerator. It's very easy to put a Labio. It's very easy to put a dry flush. And the other thing is, for resale value, it's really easy to put a regular toilet back in. If you try to sell a composting toilet, some people might think that's the grossest, weirdest thing in the world. It's like, literally, you're growing your poop in your toilet. They're cool, but like, some people are like, what, right? So some people here, I don't think you're growing your poop. Sorry, don't know what to throw me under the bus for that, but you know what I'm saying. You're making compost, right? It's just some people don't like the idea of it, and they would prefer a black tank. So it's really easy to go back to a black tank if down the road you ever want to sell it, right? And stuff, life happens, life changes, and sometimes that's what you want to do. So I have another question here. When is the industry going to finally move to the incinerator, diaper genie style toilets to permanently phase out the black tanks? Did I kind of just answer that without knowing that that was your question? Some people prefer the black tank. And the black tank it really is, think about it this way too. Like, generally, like, you can get a 50-gallon black tank and you can go out for a week and never dump, right? Or, I mean, like, you can last a lot longer on a black tank. Like, the diaper genie you have to replace more frequently, right? And it's expensive. Like, black tanks, there's not a huge expense, and I mean, like, dumping it is a hassle, and I don't like dumping it. So I'm not like super pro black tanks. I actually like cassettes more than black tanks after using cassettes more frequently. But the black tanks are like the reality is, like, what if you're just driving through town and you stop at an RV place and you want to just dump the tank, or you want to be hooked up for a couple days and be able to shower and just run through like as if you're at a house, residential. You know, to me, I've done black tanks my whole life. I don't mind black tanks. I think black tanks are great. Obviously, the incinerator is just crazy awesome because you never have to. I mean, you have to dump the ash every once in a while, but anyways. Also, we'd like a built-in leveling bubble indicator permanently mounted affixed near tongue jack on travel trailers especially, and near the rear back frame bumper area as well. Should be standard. I will not argue with that. Yeah, bubbles should be standard. There's always a million things that could be standard, but they're not. Hey, on the pause with the Garmin system, it is standard. You don't actually need a bubble because you have a bubble in your phone. I mean, the phone has your pitch and camber, so you actually just pull out your phone or the tablet and it shows you literally the degree by a point, right? So you can get to 0, like a perfect degree, which is really cool. And it auto levels, so you don't need a bubble. You just press the button and the whole trailer levels itself. So that's 10 times better than a bubble. But trailers that don't have that stuff, yeah, a bubble seems like an obvious thing to have. I think the MDCs have bubbles on them, don't they? I think the MDCs do have bubbles on them, which is really cool. So yeah, there you have it. MDC's got bubbles. So that's pretty cool. Have you ever checked into the system living vehicles uses to produce 5 gallons of water from the air in 24 hours? Yes, we have. We, believe it or not, we have a lot of people that reach out to us and testing. That's the whole. We're one of the only distributors and installers for incinerators. It's a Swedish company, and they're very particular about how it gets installed, and they don't want to just go out to the masses. They want to make sure there's a lot of attention in this installation process because it's they're very good quality, amazing, UL rated. Cinderellas are amazing. All the rest are like definitely like not even close to the same level. Like EcoJohns, we used to use those, and they just every single one of them was breaking. So Cinderella is amazing, but they also have very high standards on install and processes. So people reach out to us, and we get these really cool exclusive products sometimes that we can play around and test, and they ask us, could you like test it out on your trailers? So we have an Israeli company that reached out to us that does this, produces water. I think you said living vehicles. The system in living vehicles. Sorry, that's what have you ever checked into the system living vehicles? So I think you missed something there. The system in living vehicles. Yes, we had a living vehicle here recently, and it had one of those systems, which is really cool. And once again, that Israeli company also reached out to us, which was really cool. We haven't done a lot of testing. We've done like specs and like calculations on them. I think the biggest issue is their power consumption. They take a lot of power, and tongue in cheek, kind of joking a little, like, don't take me too serious, but like kind of feels like a dehumidifier with a filter. So I'm like, just grab a dehumidifier, throw it in your counter, let it suck the humidity out of the air. Grab your dehumidifier and pour it into a Brita, and put it in your fridge, and you have drinking water from the air. That's essentially what it is, but it's just built. It's got filtration systems built into it. It's just sucking the moisture out of the air. And like in Utah, 5 gallons in 24 hours is going to be hard. You know, in Florida, you might get 500 gallons in 24 hours. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's essentially just pulling the humidity out of the air and turning it into drinking water, and has some sort of filtration system built into it. It is really cool, and I like the idea of it. Once again, the biggest issue that I've seen is power consumption. The power consumption is massive. You guys can change it if there's more comments. So yeah, it's just definitely power consumption on that thing. I don't want to say what it was because I don't remember, but I remember we calculated it and we're like, whoa, you would use so much power for that. And the issue is it has to run 24/7. It's not like, oh, turn it on and get a gallon in an hour or two. It's like it's running 24/7 to pull in the water, right, and then filter it. So and then the thing that you got to understand about the living vehicles is those trailers are like massive, right? You need a 1-ton dually to tow that thing. Maybe you could get by with something less, but like, so they almost have like this massive roof system and solar system that pulls out, and you know, so like you just have massive solar, you have massive battery banks. I actually think the Pause battery banks and the Imperial battery banks are not much. I can't remember what their battery bank size, but it seemed like our battery banks were pretty respectable compared to that trailer. And it's a $500,000 trailer, right? Or more. I don't know how much they are nowadays. But yeah, so plus it had a built-on generator. It has an Onan Cummins generator that I think it runs off of propane. So that's a backup system, right? Because some of the things in the living vehicle take so much power that the battery and the solar system isn't actually sufficient. I shouldn't say that because I've not lived in one, but from what I have, we had one at our lot not too long ago. One of the guys that bought a trailer from us, he traded it in, went and bought one of these, brought it to show it to us. Super cool, right? Super cool trailer. Nothing against it, but I was just like, holy moly, that is a house on wheels. Personally, I would have probably bought a fifth wheel, which is great because the next question is, when will you see an off-road fifth wheel? That is a good question, but I have a dream. It is a vision of that very thing. So stay tuned. It's just, I gotta sync up with the right person that's willing to work with me on that vision. Yeah, an off-road fifth wheel. Trust me, like I said, I already got it drawn out. It's just a matter of when, right? The length that you get, the ability to tow better. Obviously, the truck rails would be an issue, so you'd have to design it very different from a standard fifth wheel. It would have to be different. I've towed lots of fifth wheels. That's all we used to sell back in the day. Before we were in the off-road industry and the high-line, high-end motor coaches, luxury motor coaches, we did fifth wheels. So I'm very familiar with fifth wheels. I love fifth wheels. My parents have probably owned a fifth wheel for the last 20 to 30 years. So, you know, they went from a little truck camper. I don't know if they ever had a travel trailer. I think they had went from truck campers to fifth wheels. And then they moved over to a Class A motorhome for a while, and then they went back to fifth wheels. And they love their fifth wheels. They live and die by those fifth wheels. And it's a house on wheels, for crying out loud. I think my parents have probably a Keystone Montana. I think they trade out every couple of years, and they're beautiful. They're massive. I think they got 4 or 5 slide outs. It's a house on wheels. So yeah, I like fifth wheels. Fifth wheels are cool. I'd love to see an off-road fifth wheel someday. The amount of clearance, the departure angles, could be bar none be the best off-road trailer you could ever build. The issue is obviously into the bed of the truck for the side-to-side articulation, because I have towed fifth wheels that too much side articulation have crushed the rails of the truck, like the side, the bed walls or whatever. I think they're calling rails. Anyways, but it moves because it pivots sideways and crushed it because it didn't have the proper height on the pin box of the fifth wheel. That's the part that goes down and connects to the truck. It wasn't adjusted down low enough, so it messed up the bed of the truck. So, question. In most provinces of Canada, reflectors are required. Does the X195 or any of the other similar size and build haven't noticed any?
Driving lights.
They have driving. They have running lights. I'm pretty sure the Pause does. I have to double check. I don't think the Imperial does. So the it does have them in the roof rack. The roof rack has them up top, and also running lights up there. I don't know what the code is on it, honestly. I know I should know that. I had one of my manufacturers here looking at Imperials at one point, and he actually pointed that out. He's like, there's not reflectors on that. But I also don't know what the width is, because standard trailer widths are 8 feet, and 8 foot is a wide 8.5 foot is a wide body. The United States, you can do an 8.5 foot wide trailer, I believe, is the maximum. I'm not a manufacturer, so manufacturers know this stuff more, because it's they're building code, right? They know what to do. So the Imperial's 7 foot 3 inches wide, I think. So I don't know if that kind of gives it a different standard, but it does have running lights. Maybe it needs reflectors. Reach out to Imperial and let them know. Canada requires it. Those would be super easy to add to. And code from country to country is always different, right? Agreed. Maybe make the badge reflective. The badge on which one? The new Pause? Those reboots? I don't know which one you're talking about. Anyways, go to the next. Do we have more? Okay. Tankless hot water heaters becoming standard. Yeah. So, water heaters, I don't know if that's a question or just a statement.
That's what they want to see.
Oh, you want to see tankless? Oh, in 2024. Yeah, sorry, this is the guys set up what this topic is, so maybe they didn't film. They didn't brief me very well, so I'm gonna blame it on the video guys. Tankless hot water heaters becoming standard. Yes. Let me tell you my opinion on this, since this is a rant, so I'm gonna rant about things. So I don't like tankless hot water heaters unless they're Truma tankless hot water heaters that have a recirculating on-demand system. Okay, so what does that mean? Tankless hot water heaters do not give you water on demand. It's tankless, right? So what it is it has an element that's crazy hot, and you turn on your hot water, and it all works by the PSI, right? So it notices the pressure, the water's been turned on, and the water starts running through the hot water heater, and then it's like a turbo in a car or something. It spools up. You hear it going, and then it goes, and it starts burning the water, and it comes through the lines all the way up to your spigot, and then you start getting hot water, and it's tankless. There's no tank, right? Cool thing about these is they're easy to winterize. You don't have water sitting in a tank. Tanked heaters, you got to pull the plugs and drain them out. Otherwise, they get all sulfury and they smell gross. And also, you got to winterize them. You got to bypass them, right? You can't have antifreeze going into them when you winterize them. So, I get a tank is more hassle, but a tankless hot water heater, you can waste. You can waste. I don't know, maybe not a liter of water before you get hot water, but you can waste a few cups of water before it's hot. And that's kind of annoying, in my opinion. So, the thing that I like about a tank is you're going to turn it on, and you're going to waste the same amount of water, because the water from the tank to the spigot is cold, right? So that water, whatever the gap is in between it, hopefully, if you're a good designer in a manufacturer, you're going to put the water heater closer to the shower, because that's where you want the water to get to you as fast as possible. But sometimes it's just doesn't, the way things lay out doesn't always work that way, right? So that water space from the hot water heater to your spigot is all cold water, right? So you turn it on, and it starts running the water. This is what I don't like about the tankless ones, because it runs the water, and then it kicks on, and then starts working, and then starts heating, and you've already run that thing all the way out of cold water, a whole nother thing of cold water, and then probably some lukewarm water, and then finally it's now heated, and now you're getting hot water. Like, that's how it works. I hope that makes sense. A hot water tank heater, it heats up 5, 7, 10, 12 gallon, depends on the size of the tank. It's going to heat up the water, and then you're going to turn it on, and that water is going to be cold to the spigot, but once it hits the spigot, it's hot, and it's the temperature you want, whatever temperature you want. And the nice thing is when you're out RVing, you want to preserve water, right? So you turn it on, and then you immediately turn it off, and you're all wet, right? You lather your body with soap, and then you turn it back on, and guess what? It's still hot because that hot water from that tank, it's the water in the lines is warm, and you turn it on, and it just keeps on feeding that warm water to you. You turn it on, rinse off, turn it off really quick, maybe do some more soap, do your hair, turn it back on, and it's hot at the tap the entire time, up to 10 gallons worth of hot water, right? The on-demand doesn't work that way. It's because the way I explained it to you, how you're running it, the second you turn it off, it just shuts off completely. And then you lather yourself up, and then you turn it back on, and then you're wasting all that cold water again. It might be a little bit warmer water, but it takes a second for it to kick back on and get to the temperature you like. So my experience with tankless hot water heaters is I'm never taking a shower that I really enjoy the temperature. It's like either too hot or too cold or too hot or too cold, and unless I'm okay with just kicking it on and just running the entire time. And when I'm off grid, I'm not okay with that. When I go into a campground, I love them, right? Because I'm like, I got infinite amounts of water and I can dump right here. And so I just get my temperature on and it just runs nonstop, and I can take a 30-minute, I can take an hour-long shower. But off-grid, not so good. Except the caveat is Truma has a tankless hot water heater that has a recirculating system. And the new pauses that are putting on Trumas are actually coming with it, which is really, really cool. The new 20.3s, 21.4s. So these are things, somebody made a comment about what would I do for upgrading. The new 20.3s, that's is definitely something that I would want, because this thing is awesome, right? It has this circulating system, so when you turn it on, it's running hot water through the lines, so you get instant hot water at the spigot. So you turn it on, and it's boom, it's hot, right? And you don't waste any water. It is literally the best. But it's not. It's recirculating, right? That's the thing, is it has a built-in pump into the system that recirculates that water to get you warm water to the spigot, and you don't waste any water. And that to me is the best of the best. So, sorry, I spent a lot of time on that one. Big weak point in pulling a trailer off-road is the height of the pivot point, ball, McHitch, lock and roll. A tow vehicle and a trailer are on opposing. Yeah, no, absolutely. And a fifth wheel, I don't know if he's the one that made the fifth wheel comment earlier, the roadless traveler. If you're the one that talked about the fifth wheel earlier, yes, I agree. That's what would be so cool about a fifth wheel off-road trailer. You know, and how would that look? I have no idea. And when is it going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen in 2024. I mean, like, I can tell you guys right now, everybody that's here, stay tuned. Imperial got some new trailers coming in 2024. Paz has some new trailers coming in 2024. MDC is coming in 2024. And yeah, so there are a lot of cool things. Those are the biggest updates. Taxa, you know, I was talking with them. They have some new stuff coming in 2024. Some pretty cool trailers, actually. So if you're a Taxa fan, you should be excited about that. BRS as well. They should be launching their production here in 2024 in the U.S. to be able to build a good amount of Pursuits and Sherpas. Super incredible, innovative company. And they also have a new floor plan in the works. So everybody's got some pretty cool stuff coming in the pipeline in 2024. I feel like 2023 was amazing, but 2024, really, with the Paz and the Imperials releasing their trailers at the beginning of 2023, it was kind of like an unprecedented time in history for the off-road industry, for America, right? And 2024, as far as I can see, is just, there's going to be an uptick in cooler, more quality off-road trailers in America. Now, I will have to admit that there will be a lot of mom and pop shops that probably aren't going to be here, or are or they have already closed their doors, unfortunately. But there's going to be some really neat stuff. So be excited. 2024 is going to be, I think it's going to be one of the best years for the RV industry as a whole. I mean, maybe not in sales. It will be down a little bit, but it will be one of the best years for quality off-road campers coming to the market, into the American market. So, if you were president for a day, what would you want in your trailer? Considering all your experience, what's available? If I were president for the day and I could just decide everything in my trailer.
Big helicopter.
Have you ever seen Spaceballs? There's a Winnebago that flies. I would go for the spaceship, the flying spaceship. Now that's in the plans too. You know how I said I've drawn out my fifth wheel? I've also drawn out my spaceship RV too. You know, I just figure at some point, if Elon Musk really gets people to Mars, at some point they're going to need like space pods or recreational space vehicles, right? You got to like explore Mars, right? Nobody's going to be there. So not only do we need something that's mobile and like recreational or livable, but it also needs to be off-road, right? So if we just keep on pushing the industry ahead, maybe we'll have an opportunity to sync up with that crazy dude. He does seem a little crazy, but he's got a big vision. Multi-planetary species on different planets. It's pretty kind of crazy to think about. But if I were president for the day, sorry, I didn't answer that question. I did. I said I want a spaceship. This is a rant, right? I got all over the place on that one. Winnebago made a helicopter RV back in the 70s or 80s. I cannot believe. I read this book on the RV industry, and Winnebago used to be one of the most innovative RV manufacturers in the world, and I think it was until the owner died, and then they became just kind of a subpar, whatever, run-of-the-mill manufacturer. Not doing anything profound or unique, but I mean, the incinerator toilet is too cool not to have. So if I'm just gonna go down the list of all the things that I want in an RV, period, believe it or not, I mean, a lot of the things that I want in an RV, Paz has put in their RVs, right? Trumas to me are amazing. They're also in the Imperials. So Truma's amazing. Just massive lithium battery bank. I know, like, the standard has always been 100, 200, 300, 400 amps of AGMs or gels. I think there's a new standard of lithiums becoming like essential and non-negotiable for most people. But I want to see bigger, I think seeing bigger, better battery technologies. If I was the president, I would be like, let's figure out better battery technology, right? Because battery technology has drastically changed in just the last few years. The fact, like, listen, like 5 years ago, no, 3 years ago, actually, today, if you go and walk into like a big box RV store, like Camping World or General RV, and ask the salesman, can you run the air conditioner off grid? I bet you over 50% of them would say that's impossible. Except for the ones that just want to sell something that maybe supposedly can. Anyway, it's most people would say that's impossible. Half. A few years ago, I would say 90 to 99% of everybody would say that was impossible. We are now running air conditioners off grid, and that's crazy, right? It's not indefinitely. It's 5 to 10 hours depending on the AC, right? Maybe 20 hours depending on the climate and the outside. But if we could have bigger battery banks, more efficient air conditioners, that would be pretty cool. Because I mean, the reason why I got an RV is because I like comfort. So like, and if I'm the president, this is another thing that I put in an RV is my mattress. Tempur-Pedic. I'm a Tempur-Pedic person. Definitely have to have a Tempur-Pedic mattress in my trailer. This last Sunday, I did a top 10 on the Pause, and they have a queen bed platform in the new units. And I actually went camping. I was going out with Randy, and we were camping for half a week down in Moab, and I was like, I want to sleep good. So I brought my mattress from home. I grabbed my mattress, threw it in the trailer, and I slept like a baby. So to me, in an RV, in a camper, the most important thing is mattress. mattress, because I want to sleep good, and that's literally how you have a good time camping, is by sleeping good. Otherwise, go sleep in a tent on the ground, right? And come on. So, have the results of a pause cold temperature testing at the Truma facility been published? When will IO finally put their rigs to the Truma cold temp certification? Those are all very, very good questions. Questions that I don't know if I'm allowed to comment on. I don't know. I do know some of the things. I can tell you, I don't think Imperials put their stuff into the temperature, Truma temperatures. They definitely haven't got their certifications that I'm aware of, and I don't know if he will. I don't know. I mean, he lives in Wisconsin. It's 40 below zero sometimes outside of his shop. At least 20 below zero. So I don't think he feels like he needs to. I think he should, just because it just gives more, what is it called? More, what's the word? Sorry, I'm falling. Validity? It's not validity, but yeah, that's a word that could work. You know, it just gives that seal of approval. So pause, I know they have done it, and they're cold temperature rated. I just don't. Maynard wants to be the best of the best, and he wants to be better than everybody else. And when it comes to his products, right? Which that's what I love about working with Pause. And so I think he wants it to be better, but it is cold temperature rated. The new units coming out are considered 4 seasons, and 4 seasons is such a. I could do a whole rant on 4 seasons. I hate when people say things are 4 seasons, because it's just. It's just like saying running your AC off grid, right? And we learned this from our mistakes in the last year or so. You know, the Imperial trailers have 12-volt air conditioners, and we're like, you can run them indefinitely, which is not true. We made a mistake. We had one outside of our lot that ran for over a week nonstop. But the thing is, the highest temperature during that week in Utah was 100 degrees. During the night, it got to 60 or 70 degrees, the AC would turn off, right? And then there was enough solar. Our elevation is really high. There was enough solar to get it charged, and it was doing really good. I went to Vegas, and it died within 20 to 30 hours, right? But that's because it never went below 90 degrees. In the middle of the night, it was not 100, but it felt like 100. And during the day, it was like 110 plus degrees. So like, and so like, there's so many variables when it comes to like, what can the AC do? How long can it run? It's kind of similar with cold temperatures too. And I always tell people, if you truly like want to live in a trailer in the winter, you need to get skirting. If you don't know what skirting is, you want to pull up some pictures of skirting. I know it will look kind of weird. Let's move to the next question, and we'll come back to skirting for you. How about the foragers equipped with food processing equipment such as the dehydrator, smoker, and the freezer dryer for processing game and foraging items? I have no idea how to respond to this question.
Ninjas at Costco.
What did you say?
The smoker ninjas.
The smoker ninjas at Costco, equipped with food processing equipment such as a dehydrator, smoker, and a freezer dryer for processing game and foraging items.
I think people that want to hunt off.
Yeah, people like hunt. I'm not a hunter, honestly. I have nothing against hunting. The 20.2, if you want to hunt, go get that trailer. It's pretty awesome. Fish, shotguns, everything. That thing is pretty cool. I don't know why I don't hunt. Half of the guys in our facility, I think, hunt. I just have never got into it. My dad didn't hunt, so my dad just worked all day, every day. So my dad didn't really have any hobbies outside of just work. And I'm kind of like similar. I don't really get out and hunt that much, and I definitely don't forage. My forage is like, which restaurant should I go to? You know, which fast food restaurant should I go to? That's my foraging. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun, but I don't know. Like the power system should be able to cover all of those things, but like you're talking like, I don't know if you're talking like walk-in freezers or how to store that stuff. I don't know enough about that stuff to give you a good answer. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I don't really know what to say to that. Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's zoom into skirting. Can you zoom into that a little bit? Kind of, maybe. Okay. I know this doesn't look pretty, But if you're full timing, like most fifth wheels are going to say they're considered a 4 seasons trailer. And most of them are, they're insulated, the underbelly's insulated, the roofs are, everything's insulated, right? But really, at the end of the day, those are massive pictures, just so you know. Like, they're in your face. I can barely even see anything else. I know. So, I think you can kind of see the idea. It's this canvas. The nice thing is you can roll it up into a small little pouch or put it away. There you go. Those are good pictures. I'm sorry if we're using anybody's pictures online. We don't mean to be copywriting any issues. This is advertising for this is advertising for who is this?
Easy Snap.
Oh, so this is Easy Snap. This is a company that can actually do skirting for you. And so what they do is they come in, Easy Snap will come in, or they might sell you the equipment. I don't know what they'll do. And they put these little clips along the bottom of your trailer, and they don't look that bad. They're kind of like, they got little metal ones, and you might not even notice that they're there, or little twist ones. And essentially this canvas is weighted on the bottom, or you can stake it. You roll it up, you put it on, stake it. And this, like, we used to sell during the Great Recession in 2009, 10, 11, 12. We were selling a lot of fifth wheels to these guys that would go up into the Dakotas to the oil drilling, right? And it was negative 40 degrees. And their trailers would just, like, so cold, right? And there was, like, they had to have this. If they put skirting, and then usually sometimes there's always weak points. Even any trailer that's even a 4 seasons, there's always going to be a weak point, right? And so there'll be an area where maybe you have to compensate it with an extra little heater. And some people, like, in their water compartments where they plug things in, they'll put a light in there or something to put a little bit radiant heat. But really, if you're going to be full timing, you need to get skirting. Like, I don't care. I even if it's an Imperial, even if the trailer claims it's made for below zero or whatever it is, right? Like, skirting, like, to me, the way I explain skirting, it's like, have you ever lived in a house that was built in the 30s or 40s? I have, and it had single pane windows. During the winter, you could, like, feel the cold air coming through the windows, and you would want to, like, not be next to the window on the couch, right? And our bed was next to a window, me and my wife, and you could feel cold air. And we went to, like, Home Depot and bought this, like, little plastic stuff that covered the window, so it made another, like, air pocket. So to me, skirting is like modern, efficient dual pane windows, right? That's what skirting does for you. So yeah, like, we survived in the 30s house through the winter. Most trailers that are, saying they're 4 seasons, you'll survive. But you'll survive, but with skirting, you'll thrive, right? You'll do much better. Okay, Bartman! Welcome, my favorite commenter on all of our YouTube videos. I didn't say that with sarcasm. No, thank you, Bart Holder. We do appreciate that you come in and challenge us all the time and make people, make comments. And you have good comments, too. You really do. MDC, I understand you want to bring in more affordable rigs, but don't they have a retail store in Salt Lake City? Yeah, they do, and we're going to coexist with them and hang out. And, yeah, so, and the other thing, I don't know if this is too much in our business, or maybe you're getting too much into our business, but Barthold is really good at getting into our business. He's good at reading between the lines. Bartman, sorry, Bartman. I have a friend named what I just said. Anyways, Bartman. Last time I checked, between South Carolina and Utah, which is where our 2 experience centers are, we sell not even 20% of our sales are Utah owners, right? So over 80% of everything we sell, in other words, is out of the state of Utah. So where, people travel from all over the country, essentially. And that's the whole reason why we put a store on the East Coast. And at some point, we'd like to put, a couple more stores in some strategic areas so that we can reach more people. And because we don't just sell trailers, like, period. Like, so here's do we have a bunch more comments, or are we coming to the end?
We're out of time, but we got one more.
Okay, so I'll come back to that question. Let's answer these questions really quick. Washer and dryer combos in either Imperial pause possible. What's the pros, cons, if possible? Richard Christensen, I definitely think that there's a possibility to put one in the pause. There's just not a lot of space in the Imperials. I don't know where we put them. but I have talked with Maynard about putting them in the pause, and he's like totally open to it. There's just not a lot out there on the market, and the ones that are good or decent are very big and heavy, and they just take a lot of space. There's these Italian ones, like made in Italy, little combo washer dryers. They're ductless, so they work great. I've seen these in like fifth wheels and motor coaches. They're amazing. I don't know if there's any con. I mean, well, the con is they don't do massive loads, but who cares? They actually wash and dry, and they're amazing. The Australians use this like little washing one, which we have installed those, and those could be installed. We actually installed one in the X145. That's Imperial, smaller one, because they have it covered right above that single fridge. So we can install one of those pretty easily in most trailers, even probably in the pause. But it's a washer, and then it just spin dries, right? So then you pull it out, and they're damp, right? And then you got to go hang them up somewhere. That's honestly like the most practical. But I love washer and dryers, and if I was president, that would be another thing I would add in my trailer. So next question. One of your last videos, you were saying that you miss diesel tow vehicles. Have you looked into the Ram 2500 Rebel or the Chevy 2500? Yeah, this is the issue that I have. I go back and forth. No, the diesel is 10 times better. And when I was driving it, I just remembered. I've had diesels for 10 plus years prior to buying my Power Wagon, and I've been, because I was pulling fifth wheel, so I needed a diesel, right? Because diesels are designed to tow. But I was like, I want more off-road, and I'm using smaller trailers so I can get by with something less powerful. And that Hemi is powerful, and it does the job. I don't recommend anybody pulling a 20.3 or 21.4 with the Power Wagon. Get that message across right now, okay? Like, sales guys are always like, they're going to go buy a Power Wagon to pull the 20.3. I'm like, oh, no, don't do that. Like, I have over 100,000 miles of towing experience, and it works. It gets the job done, but I do not recommend it, right? A 16.4, easy peasy. The new reboots, oh, yeah. Power Wagon, new reboots, easy. Any MDCs, Power Wagon, yes. I have pulled. Now, if you are going to get a 20.3 with the Power Wagon, you're going to want a weight distribution hitch. You might need airbags in the truck, right? There's just more things that you're going to have to do. And some people swear by weight distribution hitches. I do not. I prefer just to tow with whatever hitch it comes with. I have airbags, so I get a more level. And I know people will argue how that's the way that's my preference, okay? So, but man, the diesels, they're so heavy duty, they're so powerful. I don't like the thing that I'm worried about with the Bison, the HD Bison. I don't know if they actually have legitimate lockers. The Rebel might have legitimate lockers, like not like sometimes Chevy does this limited slip locker, and it's not as good as like a full locking locker. And that's what the Power Wagon has. It has front and rear. Then it has a sway bar disconnect. It's truly like the Ram Power Wagon is a Jeep Rubicon on a 2500 platform. And all of these diesels, I don't know, I need to look at the Rebels a little bit more. They're just not that, right? They're just like, they are more off-road-ish, but they're not a Power Wagon. Power Wagon's more capable off-roading. You can like trick them out and do a bunch of things to make them more off-road capable, but they're not going to be as off-road capable. But diesel, when it comes to towing, diesel is bar none the best thing out there. And yes, if you want to have the most amazing towing experience, get a diesel. Are we done with questions?
Last statement.
Okay, East Coast Roamer Adventure! It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. We got our Roamer Adventure coordinator. She is planning it with Randy, and it's going to be awesome. So, let me close out. I know we're past our time, but I want to say something. Going back to Bartman's question, because it inspired a rant that I want to close with, and it's the 80... Why do more than 80% of our... Well, we don't call them customers. They're potential roamers, future roamers, come from out of state to buy from ROA Off-Road, right? That's what's so powerful. It's like, I feel honored that people do that they're willing to make the trip out. We used to have a huge amount of people every single year. When I say huge amount of people, I'm like talking 50 to 100 people come to Utah to buy a trailer from us that came from 2,000 to 3,000 miles away. We're talking Rhode Island, New York, Florida, and it was a long haul. That's why we put a place in South Carolina, because so many people were asking us to. And we're super grateful but it's also a tremendous responsibility, and it's very stressful for our team because we don't want to let people down. And I know we do let people down from time to time, never intentionally, and we always ask people, hey, please tell us when we let you down, and we'll try better and we'll try harder. You know, we're not a massive company. We don't have a massive staff, right? You know, we're not a Camping World with locations in every state. But we really try our best. We really try to bring to the market not just a great camper and a great product, but we want to bring a great experience. We want people to have an experience that they can't get anywhere else in the world. That's our goal here, you know. And we don't compete with other dealerships, you know. Like, I don't care if Salt Lake is, you know, there's a dealership 5 miles from me, let alone 30 or 40 miles from me, right? Like that's not something that I worry about, because it's not about competition. It's about differentiation, and we differentiate ourselves, and we do things that are unique and unlike anything else. We do Roamer rallies and Roamer adventures, and we carry some of the best products and the best lineup of anything you can get in America. And so when you come here, you get a walk through lots of different trailers. It's not just like one thing, right? And so it just, and we're always trying to make our experience unique, from the moment that you call us all the way through the process until you pick it up and beyond is the most important thing. And sometimes I've said, you guys, we kind of are sometimes failing on the picking up the phone and getting people right up front, but we don't fail as much in the post sale. Like, that's where we shine more often. It's funny, if you go and, you know, read any of our reviews, most of the reviews that we have that are negative are actually not from roamers. They're not from people that bought a trailer from us. Like if you go and try to find anything negative about ROA Off-Road, it's going to be somebody that like walked in the door and was like, I didn't like the guy that said hello to me, or they're appointment only, and why are they appointment only? They're so lazy, or something. It's like, no, we're appointment only because we want to give you the most attention that we can. So people will like walk in and be mad that we're appointment only, but then we try to help them anyway. But it's interesting, like, most of the reviews are not actually post-sale reviews, they're pre-sale. And it's like, hey, come back and we'll prove to you that we'll create and give you an experience that you've never had before, you know. And because to us, it's not just a one-time transaction and see you, you know, tail light warranty is what they call it in the industry. It's like, see you later, you know, as soon as they can't see your tail lights anymore, you got no more warranty. That's not us. We're different. We're unique. And that's why we can attract people from all over, not just the country, the world. We have a couple that came out and bought a trailer from France recently. We got a guy from Romania. We got a guy from Thailand. Like, we got Canadians. Like, you name it. We're talking to people all over the world, and trying to deliver them a wow experience. And that's what our goal is. We want people to come in and leave saying, wow, that was unique. Wow, that was not like anything I've ever experienced. And that's what we're trying to achieve. We don't always, but we're always trying, and we always will improve more and more. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year's. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I'm super excited. Stay tuned for those reboots coming out. Stay tuned for MDC. Lots of cool, exciting things coming down the pipeline. Thank you. Happy New Year, and to a beautiful, successful 2024. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.